we're getting deep here, so hopefully you got your scuba suit ready. When you think about your career as a state employee, as a DMH employee, what would you say is your biggest area of growth? Yeah, what would be your biggest area of growth?
Where I've grown the most?
Mhm.
Ooh. So
DMH Way presents. Chat GCG, a DMH Way podcast. Welcome to Chat GCG, where we're having genuine conversations on growth, contributions, and goals. Now, some of you may be familiar with Chat GPT, which is a program that uses artificial intelligence to build things for your liking. Whatever you can imagine, whatever you can dream of, you can go into Chat GPT and say, build this for me, create this for me, draw this for me. But with Chat GCG, we are putting the authentic in AI. So we are having conversations with authentic, intelligent people who are employed by DMH. So my name is Daishan Knox. I am a DMH Way Supervisory Specialist, and my special guest on today, my co-host, is Rod Keown. So we got Rod in the hot seat today. How you doing, Rod?
I'm good.
That's good. So, Rod, I want to talk to you about a couple things. We're going to get into the hard questions, but first let's start with a little chit chat. So
Okay.
we got our Chat GCG. So I'm gonna ask you some easy questions. So first off, tell us where you're employed,
Okay.
how long you've been with DMH, what you do, and what's usually in your cup.
All right. So start with where I am, right?
Where you're employed, yeah.
So I'm a central office employee, but I live down in Poplar Bluff, Missouri. So that's about 15 minutes or 15 miles from the Arkansas border. So I'm way down there. I have an office at Southeast Missouri Residential Services Habilitation Center down there.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, way down there. So what I do, that's a good question. I like to answer it. I play,
Okay.
right? As a DMH Way facilitator, what I am, I get to come in. I have the opportunity to travel around and facilitate conversations with folks.
Nice.
It feels like I get to play every single day
That's awesome.
that I'm in. Yeah, to be able to develop, to coach, to encourage, to motivate people to do more than what they thought they could do just by using DMH Way tools. And I get to bring that in those big foundation sessions that we have, that 8-hour session where you're drinking through a fire hose. I get to do that. That's playing. There's not a single day where I feel like I'm working.
Yeah.
That's what I get to do.
And we're doing some of that tomorrow.
We are.
Yeah. So that's exciting. So Rod is bringing the excitement here, and he's going to be bringing the excitement tomorrow when we get out there for that foundation session.
Hope so.
Yeah. You hope so.
I hope so.
No, absolutely. It's going to happen. You've been with DMH for how long?
I've been with DMH for, 6.5 years. I've been with the state for 14 years in January.
Nice.
I've been here. So I was with a different state agency. And then really DMH is the cool kids club.
Oh yeah.
Really, this is where everything is, where everything's moving toward. And, we have our statement, we're here to serve, empower, and support Missourians to live their best lives. That's powerful.
Yeah.
We get to be a part of that. So I've been here for 6.5 years, getting to be a part of that. Love it.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. And what do you have in the cup today?
In the cup today, it is 0 sugar because I'm healthy, right?
Yeah.
So 0 sugar, wild cherry Pepsi.
Wild cherry. Okay.
Yeah,
that's good.
It's so healthy.
That's good. Hey, sometimes you got to treat yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just got water in my cup. So I was driving down. I had my coffee already. Got lunch. Had a little no plug, but I got Wendy's, and so I had the mango pineapple lemonade. So I said, you know what? If I get a little splash of sugar, I'll wait till dinner time. So I just got a little water in my cup today.
Okay.
But DMH Way.
DMH Way.
Stronger relationships, better engagement, more fulfillment.
That's right.
Yeah. All right. So, Rod, let's get into your GCG. So,
Okay.
when you think about your career, we're getting deep here. So, hopefully, you got your scuba suit ready. When you think about your career as a state employee, as a DMH employee, what would you say is your biggest area of growth? Yeah, what would be your biggest area of growth?
Where I've grown the most.
Hmm.
Ooh. So when I think about that, I've had the opportunity to work under some incredible supervisors in
Hmm.
DMH, had some incredible leaders, some colleagues. Um, but with that said, I think where I've grown the most, my biggest area of opportunity where I've got to grow was in the role I'm in now.
Okay.
And I'm gonna say that because when we talk about leadership,
Hmm.
there's two different. Well, I mean, there's several different kinds of leadership, but the two that really comes to mind is transactional and transformational leadership.
Okay. Now you're gonna have to tell us a little bit more about
Okay,
that.
so as I think about my area of growth, we say in the DMH way, and you're going to hear around DMH all the time, you can either work on your role
Mm,
or you can work in your role,
okay.
right? And so when I think about that transactional leadership and people who were transactional with me, not bad people, fantastic people,
Yeah.
they helped me succeed, they helped me go forward. I knew my role. I was successful
Hmm.
doing the expectations of my role.
Yeah.
That's where it ended,
Wow.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And so that's that transactional piece.
Uh-huh.
They're going to help me succeed, but it's just my job.
Okay.
Whereas in transformational leadership
Hmm.
and the supervisor that I have now, the team that I have, not blowing smoke, but the team I have now is transformational,
Yeah.
right? Because not only do you and the rest of the team and Carrie push me forward and help me do my role,
Hmm.
to help me do more than I thought I could possibly do.
Yeah.
And then everything that we do, it's not just this is part of your job, it becomes this is part of who you are. It's
Mm,
transformational and it's life changing, really,
yeah.
how you approach everything. So I think this role here
Yeah.
has really opened doors
Hmm.
for me, not just professionally,
Yeah.
but just allowed me to apply the DMH way tools and principles to my everyday. It's part of my DNA,
Absolutely.
So the growth has really happened here. That's transformational leadership.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, if I can dig a little deeper, when you talk about that transactional versus transformational, what would you say is the difference you noticed in yourself from when you were just having those conversations that, are you getting this report done? Are,
Hmm.
are these consumers getting their needs met versus how are you growing as a person? What are your goals? What do you want to where do you see yourself years down the line?
Hmm.
What impact did that have on you, on how you showed up in your role?
So I'm gonna get preachy with you. That's what
Go
you're
for it.
asking.
Come
I'm gonna
on.
get preachy with you. But when I'm just working in my role,
Mhm.
when I'm just coming in, I have my laundry list of things I need to do. I'm gonna check them off and I'm gonna do it. I feel good about myself
Mhm.
because I get that done.
Yeah.
You know, but I walk out the door and that's where it ends.
Mm.
But when I am able to work on my role,
Mhm.
really dig down deep and work within that role,
Mhm.
here's the preachy. I feel like it's legacy building. And I
Mm.
I always think about, what we do is not just for the here and now.
Yeah.
It's for here and now and the next generation of employees and the next generation of employees and the
Yeah.
people that we serve.
Yeah.
And when I am working with a team that encourages transformational leadership,
Mhm.
that's what we're doing. And it makes all the difference because I know when I'm gone, whenever that is,
Mhm.
that there's going to be something left.
Yeah. That's awesome,
Yeah.
man.
And it changes the outlook of everything.
Absolutely. That's awesome. That's
Yeah.
awesome. So I feel like that is gonna impact how you interact with your coworkers. It's gonna impact how you approach your assignments. It's gonna
Right.
give you more of that excitement, that zeal, that um, yeah, I'm gonna give it 8 hours, but I'm gonna be locked in during those 8 hours. I'm gonna be engaged to
Hmm.
throw that word out
Yeah.
there.
Because it's no longer about me getting a
Hmm.
job done, it's about us
Yeah.
moving forward, moving the mission and vision forward.
Yeah.
and moving our legacy forward.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's not about me.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man. Good deal. Good deal. Well, let me get into this next question. And you got to forgive me. I'm sticking to the page today because this
Go
is
for
episode 1.
it.
So once I get these questions ingrained in my heart, I won't have to use my crutch here. So when you think about where you are in your career now,
Mhm.
what's the next area you want to grow in?
Hmm. So always the skills development, right?
Mm-hmm.
We have that saying that the Carden Group has kind of passed on to us, that's CANI, constant, never-ending improvement.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, I always think about Lowe's
Mm-hmm.
has that, they're saying never stop improving,
Ah, yeah,
right? I
yeah. Uh-huh.
love that saying. I absolutely love it. So as I think about my next steps,
Mm-hmm.
it's going to be, I'm going to never stop improving. There's always something
Yeah.
that I can dive deeper on
Mm-hmm.
or improve upon, just even those small tweaks. So I think facilitation skills, but really, um, the first core principle that we have is stronger working relationships.
Mm-hmm.
So while I have strong relationships with the area I'm in,
Mm-hmm.
I have the opportunity to serve a lot of people across the state.
Yeah.
So immediate goal, if for me, is to build stronger working relationships, not just with my area, but with my areas. You know, if
Yeah.
that makes sense.
Absolutely.
Because just like we say here, it doesn't matter if we're DD or DBH, we're all one DMH.
Mm-hmm.
And I want those relationships to flow. So
Yeah.
that's kind of my concentration area.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So I'm gonna take that and use that as a springboard into my next question, talking about contributions, right?
Hmm.
And so hopefully I don't steal your thunder when I say this, because you're talking about growing in your areas.
Hmm.
One thing I've seen with you as you're working with your adjunct trainers, so you've got folks down in the southern part of the state, Poplar Bluff, Sikeston area.
Hmm.
You've got people out in Nevada, Missouri. You've got folks in Farmington. You got folks in St. Louis.
Right.
All that you've been working with and developing. And I've seen you face to face with some of those folks. I've seen some of your electronic communications to those people or concerning those folks. And I think one thing that I've truly appreciated is just seeing that genuineness, like when you're there observing them facilitate, you're locked in, you're taking notes,
Hmm.
you're giving them the constructive feedback, but you're also telling them all the ways that they did well. And I think that it's just, it's thick, that it's palpable. Like they can feel, okay, I've got this support. Rod is there with me. I'm not just out here where the DMH Way folks said, all right, go do this thing,
Right.
but he's supporting me so that that skill that he's taught me, that he's transferred to me, I actually feel that confidence. So that's my perspective on one of your contributions. What would you say has been one of your biggest contributions in your role, maybe over the past year, um,
Hmm.
since you've been with DMH, either or?
I'll think about that. Just going back to what you said though,
Uh-huh.
that real, right?
Yeah.
People can smell fake from a mile away.
Oh yeah.
They can. And there's no other way to approach this. Not being genuine just doesn't work
Yeah.
with what we do,
Absolutely.
you know, or with anything really, not
Hmm.
being genuine. So, um, just having that heart of servant leadership, being genuine
Mm.
and truly wanting to help people succeed,
Yeah. Yeah.
bring that
That's
every
huge.
time.
That's
But
huge.
one thing, you know, as I come to DMH, and I hope I answer because I got
Hmm.
squirrels on top of my
It's
squirrels, and they're
okay.
just going out.
Yeah.
Um, you know, you come in, and I don't remember who said this. I'm going to butcher this,
Hmm.
but you know, you come in your 20s and you think I can save the world.
Okay.
Then you go in your 30s and you're like, I can save the company. And then you come in your 40s and you're like, I just need to save myself. Right. And 50s,
I
you're already
love it.
looking at 50s, 60s. You're like, okay, how much time do I have before I retire?
Yeah.
So I've done that. I can save the world.
Hmm.
I think I can do this with the company. So when I really think about that, I think one of the things that I've really done, or that I focus on, is people.
Yeah.
It's not about saving the company. It's not about saving the universe or the
Hmm.
world. It's about those relationships that we build on a daily basis, because that is where ripple effects happen.
Yeah.
You know, so I think one of the things I'm going to leave, um, behind part of my legacy, and even while I'm here,
Mm-hmm.
is just those doing walks around campuses,
Mm-hmm.
saying, how are things going?
Yeah.
Just listening to people. How was your day?
Yeah.
You know, the ripple effects that somebody told me this story about a tuna sandwich,
Okay.
right? So say, I'm going to go way back and say I'm in high school.
Okay.
It's been a while. Holy cow. So I won't say how long that's been.
Yeah.
That's
Me,
been a
me neither. Me
while.
neither. Yeah.
But say they have tuna sandwich for lunch, and
Okay.
I say I love them, but I hate tuna sandwich, right?
Mm-hmm.
So already I'm in a bad mood
Yeah.
because they're having tuna sandwich. I don't get to eat. I'm hungry for the rest of the day.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not paying attention in class. I fail a test.
Oh
I
wow.
go home.
Yeah.
My mom's going to say, you failed a test.
Mm-hmm.
Now you're grounded.
Yeah.
Great. Now I can't go out. I can't do all these things. My
Mm-hmm.
friend calls me. I'm rude to them.
Yeah.
Then they're in a bad mood. Then they're rude to their mom. Then they're rude to the next person. They're rude to the next person. Mom's mad. She goes to the grocery store. Maybe she's rude to the person checking her out at the grocery line.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
It's that ripple effect.
It's that ripple effect.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but what if you spin that the other way?
Okay.
You know, what if, because we choose our attitudes, we choose how we respond.
Mm-hmm.
So if I choose to have a positive attitude
Mm-hmm.
and say we're seeing each other on the street, we don't know each other from anything,
Mm-hmm.
but we say, hey, how's it going, with a genuine smile. Maybe
Mm-hmm.
I'm having a bad day, you smile at me,
Yeah.
puts a smile on my face.
Yeah.
Then I'm going to go home and have a smile on my face with my kids, with my spouse.
Mm-hmm.
Then they're going to go have a smile, and they're going to go have a smile. It's all about connecting with people.
Yeah.
That's what I want to do. That's what I want to leave. And that's my contribution.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
so making that connection, whether you got your tuna melt or not.
Yeah. Yeah. It's, we change the world by interacting with people one person at a time in a positive way.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. It makes me think back to, I'm gonna stick with the quote that I know. And I can't tell you who said it, but people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care.
Mm-hmm.
There's another quote, I'm gonna go ahead and butcher it, but it says something to the effect of, people aren't gonna remember what you knew, but they're gonna remember how you made them feel. I
Yeah.
don't know who said either of those quotes, but it jives with me, especially as an amiable. It's like, yeah, of course I remember how people made me feel. I don't know who this person was,
Mm-hmm.
what they did in my life, but I remember how they made me feel, going back to when I was 6 years old, or 10 years into my DMH career. So,
Right.
yeah,
Yeah. Because
that's
how people
good.
make you feel impacts what you do in the future.
Mm-hmm.
Because how many times have we gone back and you're like, I react this way now because I felt this way back then.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That goes right back to what we're always saying in foundation session. We believe people drive results.
Yeah.
So when we make people feel valued, make people feel invested in, then they're going to be more likely to give us those things that
Right.
we want to see. So last deep question.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to talk about a growth area. What is one professional growth area for you over as we move into 2025? We're starting a new year. What's one professional growth area? And if I may be so bold, one personal growth
I knew
area.
that was coming. Professional growth area. I want to understand why we do what we do. That's a big old category,
That's
right? It's a
huge.
big broad thing. Because here, I hope this makes sense. I know that I don't know, and that makes me want to know more.
Okay.
So I want to understand why the organization functions, how it functions, why it functions the way it does,
Mhm.
and how we can take what we've already built, these awesome things, and make it even better.
Yeah.
I think DMH, Missouri, DMH can set the gold standard, not just for the state of Missouri for programs,
Yeah.
but I think DMH can set the gold standard for what mental health services look like for our country.
Okay.
I really do. And being able to understand that is the first step in being able to help that and push that forward.
Yeah.
So that's one of my growth opportunities, is to actually understand it on a real level.
Yeah.
So one of the things we always talk about, let's get real and relevant.
Absolutely.
So I'm going to get real and relevant. Let's get down and dirty, get that information,
Yeah.
and then use it to push us forward.
Yeah. So it sounds like you're going to be in a lot of those meetings with the people who got director behind their title.
You're using the word meeting. I don't know. meetings with purpose.
There
Let's
we
see that
go. There
we're
we
not
go.
doing meetings to discuss the next meeting, to
Yeah.
discuss the next meeting, what we're
Right.
going to do. Yeah. Let's have
Not the one
purpose.
where this could have been an email.
Exactly.
Uh-huh.
Those don't happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not
No.
not a DMH.
No,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
But that's my goal there. A personal goal,
Mm-hmm.
soup.
Soup. Drink more?
No. Share more.
Share
So
more?
I'm gonna say I make some incredible homemade soups.
Okay.
I would love to so down in Poplar Bluff,
Mm-hmm.
there's festivals all the time. I mean, somebody sneezes and we have a festival about it.
Yeah.
So I would love to set up a soup stand
Okay.
and share my soup creations with
Yeah.
Poplar Bluff area.
Okay.
Just see how it goes. I make
Hey,
some good soups. I mean,
look, you ain't said nothing but a word. I'm coming to Poplar Bluff in December, so let me know what soup I should be ready for. Let me know. Do I need crackers? Do I need a baguette? What?
it's all there. I
Okay.
provide you everything
Okay.
that you need. So soups, great homemade chicken noodle soup. Cure
Yes.
anything. I'm
Yes.
just saying. Made people walk, blind people see.
Oh
It's
boy.
just it's amazing soup.
Okay. That's
But
some
no.
heavenly soup.
No, it's really good. But one of my favorites that I would love to share with people is a garden vegetable cheese soup. It's this cream
Ooh,
based. It's
okay.
good. It's so unhealthy. You'll gain 10 pounds just from
Yeah.
one bowl,
Yeah.
but it's good.
I might need some lactate pills if I'm going to enjoy that soup, but I definitely will try it. Yeah.
I'll put that as your side.
There we go. Yeah.
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 Awesome. Awesome. Okay. Cool. You sparked something for me, because one thing I love about what's been happening with the DMH way, these skills existed long before we came along.
Mhm.
Our team has been together for a little over a year now. These skills honestly existed before we met Chad Carden. We love you,
Yeah.
Chad, but they existed before that. But what happened is now we're giving people a unified language for this is how you communicate based on your social style. This is
Mhm.
a way to communicate effectively by using a 3x3. This will help you feel motivated when we talk about your uh, ways you can grow, ways you contribute, goals that you can set for yourself. So we're
Right.
giving people the same language, so people are able to say, "I get it. I see what's being done here." And now, whether I am a superintendent, whether I am a CEO, or I am a frontline supervisor or a frontline employee, like, I see the ways that I can be effective. I see the ways that I can continue to work well with my employees, and we
Mhm.
can uh make DMH continue to grow versus leave because we're like, man, this place is toxic.
Yeah.
So I think that's awesome. Now we're all getting on that same page, whether it's in our foundation sessions or in our skill ups.
Yeah.
So I think that's awesome, and I think
Yeah.
that's great that you had that help from Helen as well.
I did. Yeah, she's amazing. And I think one important thing to remember is there's no one social style greater than another.
Absolutely.
And I mean, it takes all styles working together to
Mhm.
be successful. When we talk about flexing and that kind of stuff, it's not I'm giving up myself to another style.
Mhm.
It's just I'm recognizing that we communicate differently,
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
So then I'm going to flex to your amiable style,
Mhm.
right, to make sure your needs are met.
Absolutely.
It's about serving one another
Yeah.
so we're successful.
You're
So
gonna challenge me to make decisions because I don't want to.
I'm going to pass the microphone to you. That's what I want to do. But I mean, yeah, it takes all styles working together
Mhm.
to make the biggest impact. And then, we have our list of core values,
Mhm.
the accountability and innovation and
Yeah.
all that. And um yeah, all social styles working together. No one greater than another. Because I don't know if you were there. Remember it was in St. Louis. Oh man, it's been a while back. It seems like forever, really.
Mhm.
But we had, and I'm not going to throw her out there, but she stood up and she said, "I told folks I'm a driver, and I didn't want to be." She
Oh, yeah,
was
yeah.
ashamed almost of
Mhm.
being a driver because that had that negative connotation.
Yeah.
But people really need to dive into that social style and see the strengths of that style and move forward, because those drivers are innovative people. They
Absolutely.
see that you have a plan, and I know everyone has this, but she said driver, so that's why I'm picking on the driver right now. But
Mhm.
she said, those drivers can take your plan and say, okay, this, and this works. I
Mhm.
fully support your plan. I'm here to support you and move it forward. Let's do it.
Yeah,
That's a driver. That's
absolutely.
exciting all day long because those drivers are living out innovation. If you don't have, if you lose, stagnation of everything
Yeah.
is going to be the death
Mhm.
of everything.
Yeah.
And so drivers really push that innovation forward and keep us going.
That's good,
Yeah,
man.
and
That's good.
people need to dive into that stuff.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I love that. I love that. I'm glad that we know that this stuff works and that it's been working so that
Mhm.
people can see like we're not just flash in the pan trying to show up and push this off on people, but this is transformational stuff as you said earlier.
Yeah, this isn't just a one and done.
Yeah.
It's not a I like that flash in a pan, right?
Mhm.
No, this is something we do because here I'm going to get soapboxy again. I swear I'm going to do it. But we talk about this is about leadership,
Yeah.
right? And leadership is not it's not a title.
Mm.
That's transactional. If somebody comes to you and
Absolutely.
says, "You follow me because I'm a leader," we don't need that. That is
Yeah.
transactional. We're looking for transformational.
Yeah.
People that live at that crossroads of passion
Mhm.
and purpose
Yeah.
and ability, that roundabout of all those things.
That's good.
And so the DMH way and what we're doing, it's all about leadership up, down, and sideways,
Awesome.
and I think there's something to that. There's
Yeah.
something in that
Yeah.
that really changes the way we approach it. And talking about social styles,
Mhm.
when we look at it that way,
Mhm.
that we're serving other people, that we're living with passion, purpose, and ability, that
Yeah.
clarity, alignment, and purpose. Holy cow!
Yeah. That's
We
huge.
start we start seeing the organization grow in a real impactful way.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And before I let you go, Rod, I got to call on Thor Odin's son to take you into the lightning round. We are going to step into the Chat GCG Show Me State lightning round.
All right.
We're gonna make you pick a side, Rod. So
You're going to create some enemies for
we're
me?
gonna
Is that
create some
okay?
division.
All right.
Yeah. So we want some division that's gonna make people laugh because
Healthy
we
division.
just
All right.
came out of a divisive season, so we want some healthy division. So
Okay.
are you ready, Rod?
I, I'm s- I'm scared, but I've got it. We can
I,
do it. We can do it.
I want you to think about whatever your answer is. Go with your gut instinct. Don't
Okay.
think too long about it. All right. So Rod, first question:
Mm-hmm.
Jack Stack's barbecue or Emo's Pizza?
Emo's Pizza.
Oh, God bless you.
I have no idea what Jack Stack's barbecue is. No clue. But Emo's all day long.
We're going to Kansas City. Like as soon as we can plan a foundation session out there, I'm taking you to Jack Stack because
Emo's extra cheese with bacon, maybe
don't.
mushrooms. Phenomenal.
They don't even use sauce, Rod.
They're great.
I'm showing myself. Okay, next question: St. Louis Zoo or Kansas City Aquarium?
St. Louis Zoo.
Okay.
Oh my gosh. 100%. Every year I have a pass. St.
Yeah.
Louis Zoo, that place is phenomenal.
Except the penguins.
Except you had to go. Penguins are jerks.
That's right.
Come to foundation session, you'll learn why.
If you know, you know.
If you know, you know. Penguins are jerks. But the St. Louis Zoo, they have aquatic stuff there.
True.
They're phenomenal place.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Branson or Lake of the Ozarks?
Branson.
Really?
Hands down, Branson.
Okay.
Where else can I go watch a magician? Some people light things on fire and do acrobats and eat all you can eat bacon in the same place. It's Branson.
Okay. Yeah.
I can go there and do that.
Yeah. And what's that one comedian? Gosh, he has a whole. It's right off the highway. I can't.
And I don't know. I know there's there's a guy Yakov.
Yeah.
Is that who you're talking about? He's been there for a long time.
Forever. Yeah. There we go. Cool.
But then if you go to Lake of the Ozarks, that's swimming. I don't do. I love to look at the water. I love to be around water. I am not getting in the water.
Because you said the water is what now?
It's nature's toilet. I'm not dunking myself in. Have you seen the bacteria levels in some of these places in lakes and rivers and streams?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Just inject me with the plague already and get it over with.
So
it's gross.
I wasn't planning on going on this rabbit trail.
Okay.
But I go on these Google search deep dives. And one day, just recently, I went on this deep dive. Apparently, there's this thing called a brain-eating amoeba.
Yep.
And if the water is warm enough and you let the water go up your nose,
you're done.
97% of people who get it die.
Yep. And you know how you can avoid that?
Nose plugs?
Don't get in.
Don't get in. Okay.
Don't get in.
Don't
The
get
way
in.
to avoid the situation is don't put yourself in the situation.
There we go. There we
Holy
go.
smokes.
I do like water, so.
But okay, just remember that next time.
Okay.
You have been warned.
Okay. All right. More division. Cardinals or Royals?
Cardinals.
Cardinals. Go Cards. Yes.
Yep.
All
But
right.
really, you say that. I mean, that's baseball.
Yeah.
So let me create more division. It's baseball. Let's talk football. Or let's talk.
We can't. I mean, go Pat. Pat Mahomes.
Yeah.
The Rams left us.
I don't even want to talk about the Rams leaving.
Yeah.
But we got football.
Yeah.
And that's really, we could have a whole session about that.
True. Yeah. Super Bowl champions.
There you go.
Yeah. All right. Panera or McAllister's?
McAllister's. Yep.
Why is that?
I just like the smell better in there.
It's
all bread. It's all fresh baked bread, but there's something about McAllister's when you walk in. I don't know.
Yeah.
I like it.
You didn't ask me, but McAllister's for me because there are meals that I can eat at McAllister's and I feel full when I'm done.
Okay.
Yeah. Panera, I don't care what you eat. Unless you buy a second meal, you're not going to be full if you're a grown man.
Well, I have to say, too, that there's no Panera in Poplar Bluff. They used to have, Panera went to St. Louis Bread Company or something like that. It's all gone. So we have a McAllister's.
There we go.
So when you're down in Poplar Bluff, there's it's a town of 16,000 people. There's not much there.
Yeah.
It's just a big long street with a bunch of stop signs, but there's a McAllister's.
And you can get a good baked potato.
There you go. So McAllister's.
All right. Mark Twain or T.S. Eliot?
T.S. Eliot. Mark Twain was a punk. So
what did he do to give him this designation?
Okay, so I'm going to say this. I lived in Hannibal for a while.
Okay.
Right? I love Hannibal. Fantastic place, fantastic people. My school is there.
Yeah. That's part of our region.
That's part of our region, right? Hannibal's wonderful. Mark Twain could be kind of shady.
Yeah.
So one of my theater professors was a Mark Twain expert. I mean, phenomenal. So much so he loved Mark Twain stuff so much that he bought the rights to one of his plays. So owns one of his plays.
Okay.
But he did his entire doctoral thesis on Mark Twain, like 900 pages. Just insane. But he talked about, now take this with a grain of salt. You know, he said that they heard that Mark Twain at the end of his marriage would only see his wife by appointment.
Oh,
so when they got married, from what I understand, she was a devout Catholic. They got married. She started giving up her faith. Wow. And then at the end of their marriage, one of the last times she saw him by appointment, they were under financial ruin. One of their children had passed away.
Oh my God.
And so she told him that, you know, when we were married, I was a devout Christian, devout Catholic, but after marrying you, I have no faith.
Oh, goodness.
That says something to me.
That says something.
So I'm going to go with T.S. Eliot on that one because I'm not sure Mark Twain was the stand-up guy that we think he was.
He probably could have used some EAP.
Probably. But some insight on Mark Twain. That's kind of dark.
Yeah,
but that just really took a dark turn, didn't it?
And then, all right, last one.
Okay.
Disney or Universal Studios?
Universal Studios.
Okay.
I've never been to Disney, believe it or not. It's supposed to be the happiest place on earth.
Walt is from Missouri.
Walt's from Missouri.
Yeah.
So the only thing I hear about Disney is the lines. People always say, especially recently, people are talking about the incredible lines at Disney. And I'm not a patient person. Yeah. I'm fidgety. And I don't know. Disney, but Universal Studios, that's all movie stuff. And that's kind of my background, you know, too.
Okay.
That acting background. So I haven't been there as well.
Oh man,
but if I went, I'm going to go to Universal Studios, and I will go to the ocean while I'm there. I will look at it, but I'm not getting in it.
Oh,
no,
dude,
nature's
amazing.
toilet.
It's amazing.
It's amazing to look at. There's jellyfish in there.
There's Portuguese men of war in there.
I have no idea what that is, but that sounds terrible.
It's like a jellyfish, but worse.
Yeah, so let me hop in that.
Oh gosh. Okay, Rod, this has been a great time. You have set the bar high. I am looking forward to our next episode.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, man.
Yep.
So thank you all for watching Chat GCG with us, and we're looking forward to episode 2 and beyond. So catch you all next time. Chat GCG. a DMH Way podcast. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe. Scan the QR code for the DMH Way website.